Welcome to the Kindness Principles podcast. I believe kindness is a cultural strategy that empowers people to create meaningful lives, healthier relationships, stronger organizations, and a world where everyone can thrive. My name is Cindy Smarsh, and I'm really glad you're here.
Hey, everybody. It's so nice to have you here with us on the Kindness Principles podcast. And I'm so excited today for my special guest who's here, Jill Lublin. And before I tell you more about her, I'll just let you know that I met her at a workshop just a few months ago. I was learning some more business skills and I walked by her table and she was standing there with this lovely book called The Profits of Kindness or The Profit of Kindness. And of course, it completely, caught my attention because of all we're doing here in the Kindness Principles Company. And so we started a conversation, and I've since gotten to know her very well and become a part of her programs and things, and just so honored to have you here. Thank you for being here, Jill. And I'm going to tell everyone now what a rock star you are, not just in the kindness realm, but in all kinds of realms. So, Jill Lublin is an international speaker on the topics of radical influence, publicity, networking, kindness, of course, and referrals. And she's the author of 4 best-selling books, including, of course, The Profit of Kindness, which I just showed you. And she's a master strategist on how to position your business for more profitability and visibility in the marketplace. She's also a CEO of a strategic consulting firm and has over 20 years of experience working with over 100,000 people, plus national and international media. She teaches publicity crash courses as both live events and live webinars, and consults and speaks all over the world. So we are so fortunate to have you. Thank you for being here.
It's a delight, Cindy. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's wonderful. And I really, honestly, I want to start with the big question, and that is, why do you think kindness is so important right now?
Well, I think we all can agree about what is happening in the state of the world. It is the divided world, the divided states of America, and not only I'm talking about global events, but really locally. I think we've lost touch with each other. There's so much technology, our faces are in the phone and we aren't necessarily connecting with each other. So kindness is one of those wonderful currencies that is absolutely free, easy to give and to receive. And I think it's really so needed in the world right now, every moment.
I could not agree more. And I think, we've talked about how every moment we have a choice. We can go the kind route or we can go another route, right? With every word, every action, everything. But since we're talking to leaders in corporations primarily today, let's talk about how we can use kindness to grow our businesses and help them thrive.
Beautiful. Well, the first thing I want to say, I know people say practice a random act of kindness. And I say every day, practice a conscious act of kindness. Imagine do it in business, do it in your personal life, do it for yourself. Do not forget yourself, please, to be kind to yourself. And oh, what a world it would be, So I also know that people make decisions about people they do business with based on oftentimes liking a person, feeling a sense of something from them. And certainly kindness will push you up over the edge and on top of the ladder.
Yeah, it can be actually surprising to people sometimes when people in business are kind, or when a CEO is kind, or when a team leader is kind, can't it?
Yes. And a good surprise, I might add, the kind that we all want.
Yeah, it's a good surprise. And that's kind of sad that we're surprised by it too, in a way. It's like, oh, geez. But I love that thought of intentional kindness. Like you said, conscious kindness, intentional kindness instead of just that random. I love that. I truly love it.
when I wrote The Profit of Kindness, we interviewed a lot of people. Here's what we found out. I'm talking, heads of corporations, smaller and larger businesses, and those that were kind and practiced it in their daily, monthly, support for their not only employees but also customers had happier customers, happier employees. They themselves were happier, and frankly, all those companies made more money. And that is all good results.
That's all great results. I mean, companies are always wondering how to raise their bottom line. And so we talk here about be kind and raise your bottom line, right? So that's part of what you're saying, but there's so many more benefits. So what really I loved about your book was the focus on the 7 pathways to kindness or of kindness. Could you talk about those?
Absolutely. So what Pathways to Kindness is really what gives you return on kindness principles. Because you know what? Hey, guess what? Kindness rocks.
Kindness rocks. Oh, I love that. Oh, I got to get me one of those. Where did you get that?
Amazon.
Really? Oh my gosh.
So, when you're practicing return on kindness principles, rocks.
Rock. Yep.
Yes.
On kindness. I love that.
Return on kindness, they're called rocks. Everyone's always concerned about ROI, but interestingly enough, return on kindness principles, such as, I'll give you a few.
Yeah.
Patience. It's so, we have a fast world. Everyone expects response quickly,
Yes.
Usually it does happen, but sometimes it doesn't. And I remember in the wonderful chapter on patience, as I was writing it, I went and talked to the phone company. I put in a call to the utilities company. Wrong move. And here I am an hour on the line. And I remember the operator came on and said, "Thank you for your patience," which always amuses me, whether I'm on a plane or, waiting in some long line, whatever it is, right? Thank you for your patience. And I giggle inwardly to myself because I'm thinking, who said I was patient? It is one of the principles that I'm continuing to practice, and wonderfully enough, if I'm in a long line, I'll start a conversation with someone behind me, in front of me, and guess what happens? The time moves quicker, and you get to meet some people. So patience is important, and flexibility, especially in today's world. Things are happening fast. People need to change things around, appointments. Just be flexible with people and know that, you too will need it sometimes also. And so it's good to give it, of course, to others, is flexibility. And then compassion. We don't know what's happening in other people's lives. What they're going through, I showed up for my media mastery intensive with my brother in the emergency room. That was concerning for me, and had some impact. I was able to share it. People were compassionate. That helps,
Yes.
So I think compassion toward others is very important. It's part of kindness. By the way, what's also part of kindness is boundaries. And firm boundaries. I'm not asking you all to roll over and play nice all the time. Sometimes you just have to say to somebody whatever you need to say. I remember somebody, said something to me, and I said, "Please don't talk to me like that." I remember being on a cruise, and I was in the spa area, and this one woman, I don't know what happened, but she was clearly upset about whatever happened, and kind of ranting at the front desk person, and we're all there, by the way, relaxing or trying to, and I remember
trying to get your Zen centered.
the woman said to her, "Listen, I am happy to hear everything you have to say, and I want to resolve this well for you, but I'm going to ask you, number one, to lower your voice right now. There are people in here that are here to relax, just, as you would like to. So I'm going to request that you come to the other room, and we'll sit and we'll talk."
Wow, I love that.
Isn't that fantastic? So like she was saying is not okay with me. Don't talk to me like this, without saying that, but also making her aware. Sometimes people just go off in their own worlds, unaware of everyone around them and the impact and effect it has on others.
Yeah, well, I love all these examples and thank you for sharing them. And what comes up for me is when you spoke about boundaries, is that sometimes people's response to me about kindness in business is they'll say things like, well, kindness is just fluffy and nice. And it's like, no, that's not what I mean. Yes, kindness is kind. It can feel warm. It can feel very nice, of course, but kindness is also like not letting someone go down a path that's destructive in their role at a business. It's also, like you said, setting some standards in your business for people's behavior and how are we going to treat each other, how are we going to talk to each other, and that kind of thing. And so there's nothing, I don't think it's fluff at all. I think it's like a powerful, intentional approach to running our business and taking care of our relationships.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And guess what? That's kind too. And kindness to self,
Mhm.
you know. In
Oh
other
yeah.
words, you don't want people talking to you in disrespectful ways, nor should you
Mhm.
to others. And that doesn't
Mhm.
mean, if
Mhm.
there's something going on that you have to put a boundary on or stop, that's
Sure.
fine. That's fine. And you can, by the way,
Mhm.
deliver that still with kindness, with
Mhm.
firmness,
Mhm.
with clarity, right? And
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that can be a very kind thing to do also.
Very much so. And I like to talk about, kindness to self leads to kindness to others, which leads to kindness around our world. And so again, it starts right here, right? If I'm kinder to myself, I'm going to be kinder to you, and that ripple effect's going to just keep going. So that's another plug for kindness, no matter where we are. And as a part of this, you in your book, you talk about the golden rule, and then which I think most of us are familiar with, right? Do unto others as we would have them, or as you would have them do unto you. But you talk about the platinum rule, and I would love for you to explain that to our audience, if you don't mind.
Yes, I'm trying to remember in this very moment. Did you have a, a segue
Yes,
for me?
so the platinum rule, as I understand it, is instead of thinking about, oh, I will treat you how I want to be treated, I will find out how you like to be treated and treat you accordingly. So, in other words, like it's kind of like the five love languages with Gary Chapman. Like we're trying to learn what our people's love languages are so we can love them in the way they want to be loved. But often what we do is we give love how we want to receive it, which
Yeah.
isn't necessarily bad, but it may not be their style. So I think what that teaching is to get to know like your team members and what one team member might find it especially helpful to receive verbal praise or appreciation. Another team member might like some recognition, or like another might really respond well to a raise, whereas another wants the promotion or whatever.
Right.
So there's different ways to treat your team based on the kind of how each other is uniquely wired, I guess.
It's about taking time to find out, and that is also
Mhm.
kind, right?
Yes,
Listen, you
yes.
can barrel through your day, and yeah, you're going to get a lot done, but imagine how
Mhm.
much more you get done with a
Mhm.
team that's effective, that knows you care, that you demonstrate you care. And by the
Mhm.
way, this is for, solopreneurs too, for
Mm.
clients or,
Mhm.
independent contractors or, of course,
Mhm.
bigger
Mhm.
companies.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So just as a final question, and then we'll see if there's anything else you want to add, but what are the big five that you say, kindness is going to lead to more of? Do you remember that? Profits,
Profit.
revenue.
And you are so good, Cindy. I'm so glad.
Well, I really reviewed your book to get ready for today. So yeah, you talk about the big five, that are most affected by those pathways of kindness, and that being profits, greater revenue, happier customers, greater connectivity, and more prospects. So I guess, basically saying that kindness is going to affect every avenue of the business when
Yes,
it's
good,
incorporated.
good win-wins all the way around.
Yeah, yes. Wow. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say before we before we go?
Well, I would like to invite everyone to my kindness circles. Let's do
Oh,
that.
absolutely, for sure. Yes,
So they
absolutely.
are completely free and they happen monthly
Mhm.
for an hour where we connect and contain kindness in a circle and have two breakout sessions that are highly interactive. And I promise you'll walk away with new relationships, new alliances, new businesses getting done, and
Mhm.
lots of great feeling to take your day forward. And they're completely free. You can register, please, though, first at jilllublin.com/kindness circles. That's plural.
Yes.
jilllublin.com/kindness circles.
Absolutely, and I can attest to the great experience of attending those circles. I've walked away with new collaborators. I've walked away with new friends, and also it's just an hour that I have found is just so kind to myself to just, I don't know, it's uplifting as well. I find you always there's an inspiring story or there's something that helps calm me or something. So it's really a kindness to self experience as well. So yes, we'll put that link and others of Jill's in our show notes, but just her last name is spelled Lublin, Lublin. I love it. I love that name. So
Thank you.
anyway, it was so kind and gracious of you to give us your time today, Jill. Anything before we go?
Well, I thank you for knowing all of the answers. You are terrific. That's exciting. And I just
Mhm.
really ask all of you to practice a conscious act of kindness daily. And in the
Mm.
words of Abraham Lincoln,
Mm.
wherever you are, be a good one.
Oh, I love it. Okay. Thank you so much. And thanks everybody for listening. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye bye.
Thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe to our show and share this episode with anyone who can benefit. If you'd like to learn more about how the kindness principles can change your life, please DM me on LinkedIn. And thanks again for listening.